Do you believe in the existence of guardian spirits? Do you truly believe that there's people that have actually seen these spirits and told them a new direction, told them something for them to do or to stop doing? What role do these spirits have and why are they here? The concept of guardian spirits is a concept that is on every culture. In Mexico, we have Los Santos, San Judas Tadeo, La Virgen Maria, San Cipriano, and typically, depending on your month, you are assigned a particular guardian, a saint, or according to the day. And it is tradition for you to make an ofrenda to your saint. I was never raised Catholic, so I was never in the habit of making an offer to my guardian saint. And the only prayer that I maintained when I was a kid was my guardian angel's prayer. It brought me security. You know, I grew up in Mexicali, Baja California, where my father was involved in drugs. My mom has always been a hard worker. And I have been stabbed, I have been shot at. Like literally, I have a scar somewhere. I've gone through a lot of shit. And I had an encounter with these guardian spirits. I have never been religious. I have never prayed to a guardian spirit because I just never believed in such. But this experience has been so profound and has had such an impact in my life that I just cannot help it but to share it with you. If you have seen my content before, you know that I've gone through it. I've experienced a spiritual war or gang stalking for the past 7 years. And I decided to fight it for as long as I could. But I have to be honest with you, where there was a point where I just couldn't handle it anymore. I just couldn't. I just had to come back to my house in another town. And when I came here, I was completely and absolutely destroyed. I pretty much lost everything, you know? And I just felt like I didn't have a reason to stay sober. There just wasn't a reason. I wanted one more than anything, but it just simply wasn't there. Now, the first 2 weeks where I came back here, I was in my bedroom recuperating because I used to hear voices, which I know that are a cause, a result of psychological abuse. And the voices used to tell me that there were people outside looking through my window. The biggest conflict I've had is that I felt like something in me wanted to stop engaging in illicit drug consumption. However, outside factors, including people who were my friends, were always pushing me to engage in those actions. Whenever I would go online, those would be the first messages that I would get. Hey, do you want to engage in this? Do you want to do that? And when you are the only person that you know, and whenever you get online, you get a flood of messages of engaging in drugs, of having unprotected sex, of staying up all night, of self-destructive behavior. That's all I used to get. That's why I stopped. Well, I got here and I had that experience where my own body began giving me pleasure. It's weird, I know, but my own body, I feel like it was, listen, you need to stop going online, going on Grindr. You need to stop all of that. And literally, my body gave me the pleasure that I needed at that point for me to stop engaging in that behavior. And it worked. At this point, I thought, well, I somehow have learned how to please myself in a manner that is fulfilling, because it was fulfilling. It felt wrong. It just felt wrong because a lot of times I didn't want it. And I was just wondering, am I getting like raped by a spirit or something? Honestly, that's what I thought. Because it was the amount of pleasure that you would typically get from an actual sexual encounter. But what that did is that it literally took away my craving of going out. I haven't had the need nor the desire to meet anyone for that type of encounter. So I just stopped getting online. I stopped communicating with any person that would push me to engage in this. And then one day I woke up at 2 a.m. I opened my eyes and there was a boy flying, having fun. I went like this, and then the boy literally just like touched my hand. Hey, let's play. It said, I'm gonna come here with you every night. And I told Spirit, well, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. And it said, come on, stay with me and play a little. So I did. There was this ball of what looked like a projection, and I literally just like went like this, and the ball moved. And then the Spirit pushed it back, and we were just like playing. We were throwing the ball around in the bedroom. I was laying in bed when this was happening. When this was happening, I had already stopped. I was sober when this happened, and that is the big encounter, the big conflict that I have is that if it would be because of the drugs, it would be while I was high, but I wasn't, and it happened the first day. And then the second day, around the same time, the same thing happened. But this time, I saw the Spirit come out of me. And I was laying down, and it just began to like untie itself from me. And as it untied, my body began feeling cold. Like right now it's warm, but as it began like separating from me, my body began feeling cold. I felt like it was some type of protection that was coming off my body that was disappearing. And then he told me, your life has gone to shit because I haven't been protecting you. I was like, what? Yeah, the moment that you decided to start engaging in those things that were hurting you, I left. You haven't been spiritually protected since then. Until a couple of days ago. I'm back. But you have to promise me one thing. I was like, what? Never, ever use drugs again. And it said, relax. Listen, from this point on, everything is gonna go amazing. Everything is gonna go well. But you have to stop. And this is a spirit that is literally floating in my bedroom. And I said, fine. So I decided, never, regardless of what happens, I'm engaging in anything. And not only that, but whenever anyone in my future circle of friends, whoever offers me anything like that, I will simply cut all ties with that person. Because the moment that I allow people that were of that scene, that's when my guardian spirit left, if you want to call it that. My conflict is that I don't believe in spirits. I believe in the power of the mind. But this experience was so enigmatic, so incredible. I literally thought that it was a projection. I literally thought that someone was projecting something from the window because it looked like a projection, like a 3D projection. It looked just like a 3D model that was like flying around my room. I still don't believe in guardian spirits. Or actually, more true is that I'm unsure because there was a part of me that always wanted me to not engage in any of that behavior. I always knew that I wanted to stop, but there was just not a strong reason enough. There just wasn't. And I feel that it was either my soul, my own self, somehow projecting itself into this space. But the truth is that I really won't ever know. I decided to stop pursuing the truth of that. But I have also decided to believe what this guardian spirit told me. Because since that moment, my entire life has taken a turn for the better. I've told stories about my imagination creating voices when I imagine them. But this was at a complete other level. It was telling me also how, what's that thing? When people can, there has been this search to turn coal into gold. What's it called? Alchemy. And the spirit explained alchemy to me, and I was able to understand it. I understood it. It made sense. I was able to understand the fifth dimension, and the spirit or the spirit or my soul or whatever it was in the fifth dimension. As crazy as it might sound, it was another dimension. And I remember just now that's what it told me. There was another dimension, the fifth dimension. Have you had one of those experiences? Have you had an encounter with your own soul like I did, where maybe it was such an incredible experience that it was able to turn your life over so that your dreams come true? If that's the case, please write it in the comments. I would love to hear your story. All right? Thank you so much. Bye.